Good morning, everyone. Did we miss a video yesterday? Yes. Sorry about that, but let's make up for it now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Radical Geek YouTube channel, where most of the time we upload on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but every Sunday we host a live stream from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. And we affectionately call that Coffee Talk, where we brew a warm beverage and then talk about its history and origins. And then we pair it with a ketogenic recipe. So we look forward to seeing you over the next few days. And again, it's Tuesday, not Monday, but sometimes life happens and everything goes haywire. I swear, I actually thought today was Monday. I am so far behind on everything. It is like crazy. Cosplay has thrown up in my office. Plus, I've got my regular work right here, and everything is slipping away. OhioCon is in 2 weeks. I've got to get together hundreds of board games to pack into my truck. Um, my cosplay that I had all my parts for, well, half my parts for a month ago, hadn't been touched until this weekend. So now there's spray paint all over our garage and parts strewn throughout the house. It is chaos, and I don't thrive well in chaos. So, however, at least I'm keeping myself on point. So let's talk about keto planning, though. So one of the things, we go to keto conventions, a lot of us here, and there it's very easy because you have that support of everybody else being on a similar page to you. Maybe they're carnivore, maybe they, are low carb, or maybe, but there's just still that general, hey, we're healing ourselves. A lot of us have cancer, a lot of us have MS, lots and lots and lots of diabetes, and we're all working together to support each other. But what about other conventions? How does that go? By the way, it's the electrolytes, and then I have my coffee right here. That's the kind of day it is. Hmm. But so, because I go to a lot of other conventions, geeky conventions, and this next one coming up is OhioCon, and I'm part of staff. We have They do actually try to feed staff, but of course, I can't eat any of that. They have a whole giant buffet full of carbs and ingredients that I can't eat no matter what. Um, it's possible they're going to buy people dinner on Sunday at BD's Mongolian Barbecue, which I sort of could eat at, but the cross contamination there, even though they say they'll take it to the back and cook it separate, I almost inevitably get sick there. So it's nice, but it doesn't really work out for me. So I try to get exemptions from attending those parts of the staff meetings. Um, the other part, though, is just in general, it's hard to feed yourself at a convention where it's not designed for people with specialty dietary concerns. Uh, so I really plan ahead. And here are some things that I thought would be good to share with you because I imagine that maybe you go to crafting retreats, maybe you go to other game conventions, maybe you're going to film festivals or fairs or things where maybe you're going away and you have to stay in a hotel. But so here's what I'm doing for OhioCon. I have to be gone for 5 days, and I was upfront and said, I don't mind helping. I told you guys I didn't want to help anymore. I'm getting too old and I can actually come to the convention now. But uh, times are rough right now. They're putting in some good policies to protect people. And they were like, we really need your help because the library's gone and basically help. So I'm doing so. And I don't mind it at all. But it is outside of what I planned. So to stay in my hotel room for a week, I actually went ahead and upgraded myself to a suite so that I had a good facility for cooking. Uh, Normally I get a king suite, but this time, and actually I usually try to get the suite that has the big conference room table. But this time, someone snatched that conference room table room out from under me. And sorry about that jiggle there. I'm obviously moving around in my office and it's crazy. Like I said, chaos everywhere. In fact, this video is chaos. Once something gets out of control, it just spirals and feeds into the whole cycle. I'm trying to get a grip. Hopefully we get a grip during this video. Maybe not. Anyway, so I have my suite, and they didn't have my conference table suite. They tried to tell me they could give it to me for a couple of days, and I was like, listen, I can't, I'm not going to be moving from suite to suite to suite to suite. So I did tell them though, but instead of my king suite, go ahead and give me 2 queens. That gives me a bed to sleep in and a bed where I can lay a lot of stuff out. Then I still have the front room that will have my little roll-a-bed sofa with a coffee table and hopefully a little dining table as well. 50-50, some of the rooms have them, some do not. Sometimes it's a coffee table only. And then right in between, or sometimes depending on which room they give me, there is a little area that has the sink so you can wash your dishes and a little counter space. So between all that, I'll be pretty good. I'll be taking my coffee maker. You know I'll die without it. I haven't decided which one, whether I'll take the AeroPress. Well, I'm going to take the AeroPress. Who are we kidding? It's my favorite. But I probably want to take something that will hold a larger amount of brew. And I'm sort of looking at the Chemex because it's a high capacity. But to be honest, it's glass and it's fragile. And I'm going to have hundreds of board games and I'm going to have giant piles of cosplay. So it's more likely that I'm going to take the Coffee Gator steel French press because honestly, I could take that thing and slam it on the ground and maybe even roll it over with my 4x4 and it would probably still be good. So yeah, and I'll take the mocha pot in case I want some pseudo espresso. So that'll take care of coffee, which is utmost importance. Usually, and I'm staying at a brewery, they have coffee, and I usually very boldly take a giant coffee carafe, which I will also be taking down there, and I fill the whole thing up while people stare at me like, oh, that lady. But listen, I am not eating all of the eggs in the, because they've got additives in it. I'm not eating their dirty sausage patties. I shouldn't call them dirty, but you know what I mean. My non-compliant sausage patties. I'm sure they're delicious, but they do have ingredients that I can't have because let's face it, it's a hotel breakfast. They're buying the most economical, not the highest quality. I'm not eating the pancakes. I'm not using up all the waffle batter. I'm just taking coffee and they can make more and it's cheap. So, despite sometimes people giving me the dirty eye for it, I take my entire carafe of coffee because I am paying for it basically. So, that's my important thing. I think you all know coffee is my number one important thing. But the next thing comes is I also have to eat there. I'm going to take my camp stove, the one that you see me cook on the live streams all the time. I use it to heat my water. I use it to do all kinds of things. And it's a real go-to appliance. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take a frying pan, just a nonstick, probably not my cast iron because it's heavy. I'll just take a nonstick because it'll do everything. And then I'm going to take a couple dashes, my honeycomb waffle maker and the regular waffle maker, just so I can do 2 at a time. And between those 3 items, I should be able to, I'm very tempted to take the crepe maker, but I don't know. It's starting to get to be, again, now you're going too far because I still have to take all my ingredients. I have to take all my therma flasks like this one here because I fill them up in the morning, get everything all prepared because it's the convention. So you're up in the morning and you run. There's no time to be doing a bunch of crap in the middle. So it's starting to get to be a lot. After all, I have to remember I've got a 4x4 of board games and then a second carload full of cosplay. Now I'm going to take a whole kitchen. So I probably won't take the crepe maker, but I will be taking an assortment of keto chows. and those will be great. I'll take a blender bottle at least I will probably take the NutriBullet blender because that's small and easily portable and will just take care of everything right there. Then if I want waffle batter, blend it up. If I want a shake, blend it up. If I want uh, to go hardcore and make a smoothie, I can get ice downstairs and boom, smoothie, you name it. It's a very versatile appliance. So frying pan, waffle makers, and a NutriBullet blender. My keto chow for ingredients, I will take the avocado oil because while I love the idea of taking my heavy cream, it's not a convenience, but I will take a giant box of butter. So that means that I have two options. I have butter or the avocado oil for whichever application I want. Those are the items that help me prepare the most. And the butter can stay out, you know, or it can go in the mini fridge. I will prioritize the mini fridge because the other thing that I will be taking is eggs. Um, Eggs are great because I can blend them in coffee. I did say I was taking the NutriBullet, not my Vitamix. I can't justify taking the Vitamix, guys. It's crazy time. And the NutriBullet is questionable on doing eggs. However, I do have a stick frother, and I have my little whisk, which I will be taking. So those are options too. I could manage to work it out and have an egg coffee if I wanted, but with butter and eggs, I've got scrambled eggs. I can do sort of poached eggs in the fry pan. Not the best for, but I will also have to take some lemon juice. Lemon juice is great because I can also use that and I can make myself a hollandaise. I will have a couple mixing bowls. But you know, if I've got the keto chow, then I can have waffles or pancakes. And ahead of time, I'm just going to take in containers. I'm going to take some egg bread buns. I'm going to use the recipe that's kind of like the hybrid between Indigo Neely's and Christy Davis from the Keto Village because I'm going to use butter powder and all of the egg white powders, but I don't agree with using honey. I know they say it all gets eaten. I can't make that step. It's a food for me that the risk is too high because of my seizures. So if you don't have that kind of risk, it probably is fine. But if you have a risk like mine where the ingredients do matter, it doesn't matter if it gets eaten up by the yeast or not, it's still contained within the food. So there's a potential for impact. And I don't know that for a fact. I don't have a medical degree. I don't have a neuroscience degree. But my neurologist says never, and not a try it out and see. Never. So never is what I'm going to follow in that kind of regard. So we may do, but it's perfectly delightful with a little bit of the nutritional yeast. I actually have, even though I'm using the butter powder, I've amped it up just a little bit with a tiny drop of butter extract. Wow, it's really good. So the egg breads, which means I can make myself sandwiches. You know I'm taking cheese. Who are you watching on YouTube if you think that I wouldn't go without cheese? I've already got it all lined up. I've got a giant block of Cabot extra sharp cheddar, and that is what I will use for if I want to make a breakfast sandwich with some eggs and cheese and some bacon. So here's my fridge so far. Eggs, a couple packs of bacon. If I get in a pinch, they do have a restaurant in the food court called Chicken and Eggs, and they don't have like all of this stuff disassembled, and they do make real eggs. So if I really get tired or worn out, I can go there. In previous years, actually the last time I was there was pre-COVID time, so I had to go down to a staff meeting, and it was still there. They have a place called Chicken and Eggs, and they make omelets and breakfast sandwiches and all kinds of things where they've intermingled the carbs and the proteins. And it's a little pricey, so, you know, it is a convention center food court. But I did ask him, I was like, listen, can you just make me like a breakfast sandwich, but don't give me any hash browns, and I don't want your American cheese, and I don't want your bread. Just make me 3 eggs and two portions of the bacon. And he thought I was crazy, and he was like, but I don't have plates. And I said, just throw it in a paper. It's fine. And he looked at me again like he was really unsure. And I was like, if you want, I'll walk across the food court to the pizza place and steal a plate for you. And uh, he was like, yeah, let's do that. But then he was very accommodating. Also, if I feel like I need a treat, I do worry about the cross contamination some, but it hasn't made me sick in the past. And they do have, yes, in the convention center food court with all of the fast food, an Indian restaurant. There are a lot of things that I cannot eat at an Indian restaurant, but I really love the flavor profiles. And they do have two things. They've got a butter paneer and a sag paneer. It's a little high in the carbs for me with all the sauce and the paneer, but I spent a lot of time talking to them before and I told them about my health issues. Yes, I did. And they were very interested and they were like, are you sure you want to eat this? And I was like, if you don't mind, I've got myself some stuff I can use on the side. And they gave me, because I wasn't getting the rice or the naan or any of the accoutrements that went with it, they gave me a styrofoam bowl piled with the butter paneer, and then a second bowl where they gave me the sag paneer. And because he felt sorry for me for not having the rice, they didn't charge me for the sag paneer. And I explained to him, I was like, you don't have to do that. I fully understand. And by the way, then I saw portions for a friend of mine who got their regular food, and I will say I probably got triple the serving of the paneer. But that was great because then I just divvied it up into like 6 portions, and I had some pretty fancy food the rest of the weekend. Um, so those are things. But back to my personal take, those egg buns. And I tried out all of the crepe recipes recently uh, because Indigo Neely's YouTube made one using egg whites and gelatin. Now, let me tell you, freaking genius, because I have tried xanthan gum. I've tried making all of the ones that are cream cheese and eggs, which, by the way, they show these videos where they all look perfect. I'm telling you, whoever is making perfect pancakes and crepes using only cream cheese and eggs and nothing else, uh, they've got some kind of special magic, because I am no slouch in the kitchen, but they are so frail and they just tear apart. They do not get all fluffy. They do not. I don't care what they say, it does not work. The taste is fine, but that texture is not just like a real pancake. It's not. But I have the ones with the almond flour are great. They taste good. They are a little bit dense, and that's okay for me. But I've tried the egg whites and the xanthan gum because, the egg life wraps, that's what's in their ingredients. And it was hard because they wanted to stick really bad in my pan, even in my super, super, super non-stick pan. And so that kind of went by the wayside for a little bit because I got frustrated. Even though I eventually got it, it was a lot of effort. And I thought they were weird texturally. Like I just couldn't quite get the cook on them just right. They were, if I could maybe spread them out thinner faster, they would have been all right. But they were just a little bit too something texture. It's the xanthan gum. Then I thought, well, let's try the Arabic gum because sometimes that's not as jellified. I don't know, we'll make up a word for the xanthan gum. Slimy. Slimy's the word. Sometimes the Arabic gum's not as slimy. It's a little bit more fiber. And that did not work at all. I tried the Terra gum, and so far, everybody I know loves the Terra gum. Everyone in my household loves it. Everybody except me. And I'm starting to think that probably I just don't like the texture from any of the gums. Uh, It seemed to do okay when it's in the keto chow. Um, so I don't know, but I do know that I thin my keto chow a lot more than other people do. And if I have it too thick just by liquid reduction, suddenly it gets that texture and I'm like, nope. So I do have to thin it out, which means sometimes I add gelatin to re-thicken it. And that seems to help me a lot. I don't have any explanation for it. It's just a weirdo thing. And I'm okay with that. Um, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. So eggs and keto chow and bacon should get me through the 5 days. If I have time, I might stop at the grocery store and buy some of the boar's head roast beef because it's basically roast beef and salt, just to kind of carry through. I did think about whether I might go to Costco and buy a big batch of their shabu shabu uh, beef because it's already sliced in little thin strips, and then I was like, then I could just cook it up myself. But it's a convention. I'm going to be going and going and going and going, and I have 9 million tasks. There's no time for that kind of malarkey. So eggs and bacon. If I have time to go to the grocery, I will buy some roast beef for sandwiches. Otherwise, breakfast sandwiches on that egg bread will be fantastic. And it's very easy. The room has a microwave. So I take my big container full of egg buns. If I cook up some of those crepes ahead of time, look, there you go. I've got bacon and egg sandwiches. I've got bacon and egg tacos. I've got just regular old eggs with my butter, waffles, pancakes. I'm pretty sure that for the entire week, I'm really well set. And so that is what I recommend. Um, if you like a little more variety, an easy thing to do would be to grab a pack of your all beef hot dogs. Like, they're not the greatest food for you, but they're not terrible either. If you get those Teton Waters dogs, those sausages are great. You can slice them right down the middle, and if you've got your frying pan and your hot plate, yeah, grill that up real hot and throw it on your egg bun, and you're good to go. So that's how I survive a non-keto con, because otherwise, literally everywhere it is candy and pizzas and Subway and everywhere. Because there's no time. People don't take time to go out to the restaurants, maybe once during the weekend, but for the most part, you really focused. You want to go to the panels, you want to play games, you want to join contests, you got to go to the dance things, and you want to play more games. They've got electronic games, they've got board games, they've got movies, they've got a tea event, they've got you name it, and it's 24/7. Go 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 go. So uh, going out to eat is not always the plan. So I am a little bit sad because I noticed that there was a place downtown right across from the convention center. It's called Mellow, and he was a chocolatier and a coffee aficionado, like the real deal. And he made some really fancy keto confections. And now he would not do just like onesie twosies. You have to order ahead of time and tell him, hey, I'm going to be in town and I will take 15 of this and 15 of that. You paid a pretty penny for it. I mean, they were fancy pants, high quality chocolatier type confections. But he made them using a blend of erythritol and monk fruit, and they were just amazing. And I used to splurge on that, but when I went downtown, I walked by from the parking garage to the convention center, and he is out of business. So I was a little sad about that, but also, again, do I need those treats? No, not really. So it's all good. I sure blathered on for like 100 years about nothing. But why don't you give me some tips and tricks and comments for when you are traveling and when you are living in the hotel, but you don't have that ability to take like your entire household with you for your comforts of home. How do you manage in that kind of environment? I'd love to hear more of your ideas and input. I'd also like to hear what kind of ideas or recipes or other things you want to talk about. I have a huge list from ideas you've already given me, and we'll get to all of it, but it's always good to hear more. And I will talk to you later. Thanks. Bye bye.